What's up, friends? If it's cool with you, I have no topic for this video, so we're just gonna jam for 20 minutes. If you have like actual productive things to do, I recommend you go do it. If you have 20 minutes to kill because I value your time, then stick around. Happy Olympics. It's an exciting time. If you didn't catch the opening ceremony, I highly recommend you watch it. If you don't have a Peacock subscription, I highly recommend you pay the $14 just for the ceremony. If that it's really beautiful to see what humans are capable of doing when they come together and they push the boundaries of their creativity. My favorite thing, which I just learned from one of my students in my courses, Lucille, she's from France, and she was saying how, like, it was an idea first to not do the opening ceremony in a stadium, and that has never been done before. So the fact that when you are growing, when you are creating, when you are building, it is so important not to judge ideas in the early stage because the best ideas come when you allow yourself to just think freely. So the fact that we got to experience what might be the most creative and spectacular and impressive opening ceremony of the Olympics ever. Like we got to experience that because someone said, "What if we did the ceremony on the water?" Like I just find that really, really cool. So, anyways, it was emotional watching it because I'm rooting for three countries. Well, I was looking for Bosnia, but I don't think there are any athletes there. But I was rooting for Nigeria and, of course, USA. And just knowing that there's, I think, 206 nations represented because this isn't UN recognized nations. So some independent territories that don't normally get love or shine in any other capacity. Like it's beautiful to see them show up in their cultural attire. So, anyways, I'm just watching it and I'm seeing so much pride and beauty and colors and culture. And I'm like, man, it's so cool to be human. It's so cool to share this earth with people that are different, but also very similar. And I've said this before, and I was inspired by something Ohanian said in a video a month ago. But like, sports is the thing that connects us as humans. AI will never replace sports because it's that raw human emotion and fighting for something that is worthy and putting your all towards something. Oh, it's just such a. Mm. And then I happened to also watch the I Am documentary by Celine Dion. Don't watch that if you're on your period. Like just wait until you're ovulating because it is very emotional and it's very human and it's very raw. And I can appreciate the reason I love documentaries so much and why it's my favorite genre of entertainment is because it beautifully not only story tells, but documents the journey in a non-glamorous way. Like it's a very realistic look into what a journey is like when a person or a family dedicates their entire life to one craft and mastering it and enjoying it and loving it and obsessing over it. It's so, so, so humbling. So I just really appreciate the artistry of the storytelling, but also of the artist. So that was cool. And politically, we're going through a lot. Um, Towards the end of this video, I'm actually gonna ask myself some questions that I hope in 6 months I can come back and answer again. But politically, it's so interesting to see how I believe it's $200 million now have been raised for the Kamala Harris campaign. And in 100 days left that we have until election, it's it's terrifying. It's honestly terrifying. Like I feel that same fear during the 2020 elections of, oh, ish, like this this could be bad. And there was a clip, this was not taken out of context, but Donald Trump was saying like this will be the last time that you'll have to vote. Like don't worry about it. Just if you've never voted before, vote now and you'll never have to vote again. And it sounded very like that is a dictator. That's dictator speak. And he was like, "Where are my Christians at? Christians, come out and vote. I'm not a Christian, but and I'm like, wait, you've run your entire 2016 campaign on your Christianity, but not knowing how to recite a verse. And yeah, sorry, there's gonna be there's this glue on my lash that will every now and then just like on my eyeball. So apologies. So yeah, like I mentioned, I saw this on, where did I see this? Somewhere on Instagram. But what do you hope to be doing? Let's do this together, actually. So on Instagram, there was this trend where someone made a video from a year ago, but you can also do 6 months. And they said, hey, like you're speaking to your December self. And I talk about futureme.org very often. If you've been to any of my courses, programs, masterclasses, you know I plug that website all the time. But I've never done a video version of that. So I'm excited. And like, let's go ahead and create the questions together. I'll make my questions on this, I guess, video. And then hopefully you take time after this video as well to do the same. And maybe in 6 months' time, we can like celebrate and recognize the progress. So, first question is, what do you hope to be doing? And I'm literally making these questions up as I go. So, I'm thinking of, if you're asking your December self version a question, like you almost want to be assuming, oh, here we go. Here's a better way to do it. Write down 5 things that you hope to have done by December, and then ask yourself how it's going or what you I'm really complicating this process. This is not how the trend goes, but of course, when you see something, it's better to put your own spin on it. So, okay, so let's first go ahead and take 2 minutes. This is not a class. Take 2 minutes to write 5 things that you assume will be done or you hope to have done. So write those 5 things, and I'll give you some time. I'm going to write mine's out, and I'm just going to say topics. Like I'm just going to do that. Oh, this is so fun. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And this is kind of cheating because technically your video should be private and you shouldn't, like, you all shouldn't see my video, but I'm going to do like it's not a fake version, but just a sample version so that you all can see me do it in real time. And oh, um, and I need one more. Okay. Need one more. La 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 la. What do I think is gonna be? Oh, okay. Let's do that. Okay. Um, should I do that one? Okay. All right, sorry. If I was professional, like as a YouTuber, there would be a transition music and like my editor would do something, but this is my hobby. So y'all gonna put up with my mediocre. Okay. So here's my 5. All right, Glow. All right, you're watching me, but this is also for my project. So shh, let me do it. Okay, December Glow. It is December 2024 by the time you will watch this. And I want to know, how does it feel to be married? Is it as fun, scary? No, how does it feel? Like, is it cool? Are you enjoying being a wife? And how does it feel to call Stefan your husband? Like, are you enjoying that word, and are you being obnoxious when you like use it? Are you throwing it around all willy-nilly just because it sounds really cool? Okay, that's number one. Number two, your 100th country. Was it everything you imagined and more? Or do you wish you chose someone somewhere else? Sorry. If you listen to this. This sounds really bad if you you rewatch that part. It was not a Freudian slip, but it's hilarious. Okay, focus. Okay, number 3. Is the Life Leap podcast launched, or are you being a lazy, procrastinating, dumb I'm just kidding. This is a podcast launch. Did you decide to do the Glow Show podcast? Did you decide to relaunch that? Or are you and Stefan, have you figured out a network deal and are you doing the Life Leap podcast? I'm very curious. Number 4, your new city. How is it? Have you made friends? Like, is it weird? Does it feel like home yet? Have you moved? Were you able to find a floor plan or did you put your stuff in storage and go to Europe? I'm very curious. And lastly, did you feel like no, did you find like a new series on Instagram? Like I know right now, no. In August, restart. Okay, number 5. Did you find a new flow with Instagram? Because in July, you had a lot of series ideas. So do you feel good about where your Instagram is growing? And did you cross that 300K mark? Yeah. Okay. I think this is, yeah. Okay. And I'll use this to respond to in December. I hope you guys did that with me. Make sure your version is much better. And I don't know. Well, I mean, it's human. But yeah, I just wanted to like quickly do 5 areas that will have happened. So I hope it made sense. Well, it probably didn't, but I'll try to explain it again. 5 areas that will happen 5 things that will happen or 5 areas of your life where there's going to be change. So I was like, okay, marriage, travel, podcast, city, and Instagram. So those are my 5 categories. And then you can ask a question asking how something is going or if there is a change or a shift or an assumption. Y'all, I blame I blame the Olympics for my lack of coherence. But also, yeah, it's been a fun week. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. We're currently enrolling our 3rd and final cohort of 2024 into the Life Leap, and we had an alumni call, so we brought class 1 and 2 together, and I think now, what are we? 13? No, 12 countries represented, 6 continents. So it's really cool to just be so global. And it's like a global network of professionals. And that's what we have been like rooting and hoping for. And to see them building camaraderie with each other has been really, really cool. So just continuing to like grow that and feel so good about how it's growing and not feel rushed about anything in how we're doing it. Like it just feels very natural and organic. And I think for a lot of entrepreneurs and creatives, they have this idea and the success or the I don't know, the end goal has to happen in like a month. And we're like slowly building out this journey, this community, this product, this program in 10 years, and we can see the evolution, we can see the journey, we can see the growth, we can see the opportunity, and we can also see where we are lying in the margin and like filling in the gap where the industry is really missing out. So that feels really cool. Okay, I am going to go do my workout. I've felt really good about how I've been moving lately. And I just saw something small, like a small tip about how, yeah, just even moving your body right after a meal, like going for a walk or a dance in the kitchen can like drastically change how you digest. And yeah, I just started doing that and I like feel so much better. And funny, like it's whenever Stefan's around, I think I've said this before, it's like really hard for me to be like active because he's so catering. And so this version of myself, I have to learn how to carry her when I'm with Stefan so that it's not yeah, so that I'm not falling into these 2 modes where I'm like complete slob and then like hyperactive, you know? Okay. Okay, I think I will spare you the misery of continuing to hear me yap more. But I think, yeah, I think that's it. I think, yeah, I mentioned that found the dress, said yes. And then I said yes to some like fun accessories, which I, I don't really celebrate Halloween. Well, one, growing up, a pastor's daughter from like a conservative Nigerian background. Halloween, we called it Hallelujah night in church. And my mom would always say like Halloween is like celebrating the devil. So growing up, we had a very negative perception of like, oh, Halloween, we can't do it. And then of course, growing up, I was like, but I want to be cool like everyone else. So I would like sneak like my costume in my backpack and like try to dress up as much as I could. And then even in college, I would dress as like celebrities and not so much like, witches or whatever. But anyways, I say all that to say, yeah, Halloween, I've never had that excitement for it because I didn't grow up with the ability to participate. So I never yeah, like the past 3, 4 years, I haven't done anything. I think the last time I celebrated, I dressed up as Serena Williams like 5 years ago. I don't know. I think I know I did Michelle Obama 3 years ago, but I never posted the picture online because I wasn't sure if the costume was good. So, anyways, I say all that to say, um, for some reason, my wedding feels like a moment to um, it's not celebrating Halloween, but I get to dress up. Like, how often as adults do we get to dress up? Every now and then I'll have a friend that throws like a themed party, and I'm like, yes, like dress up, dress up, dress up. Like playing dress up is so fun. And when I look at all of I have like a very curated, it's unique. That's all I can say. Like when everyone, I don't know, whenever I decide to post it, because I think I'll probably give it a month before I like share online or anything, just to like really celebrate and bask in the newness of the matrimony and all of that excitement. But yeah, so whenever I do decide to share it, I think the photos will be not a surprise, but they'll just be different. And I like that feeling of being different and doing different because when it's predictable, anyone could do it. But when it's different or unique or DIY or creative, it's like, oh, that's a one of a kind. Like, I wonder what the thought process was behind that. And yeah, I probably spent in the last 2 days, like 12 to 14 hours just research and just planning and designing and creating. Um, yeah, so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's fun. It's exciting. And I know that it's all going to be worth it. I'm just terrified of like packing and everything fitting or not fitting in my suitcase. So I'm just, mm, yeah. But yeah, I think I'll rid you of the misery of continuing to listen to me. What's coming up this week? More, oh my gosh, this lash, it's gonna kill me. Um, more, more, more. There are some big projects that I've had in the queue. And when you think about self-sabotage, like it's not just a fun word that we throw around, like I'm self-sabotaging. It's like, no, it's real. Like when an opportunity is so big or a door gets open that you didn't expect, you're like, am I ready? Do I want it right now? So there's a lot of that happening in the background. And in the past, I'm used to like working on like a 3-month basis, like roll over every 3 months or so, I can kind of do a guesstimation, guesstimate or do a guesstimation of like what's happening in my life and where I'll be. And this time I'm like having to do like 1 year out, which is very new. I normally don't have to plan or think that far out, but I can also see the beauty and the benefit of like being able to map out my year that far out so that I'm not like working for today. It's like, oh no, this is for 2030. And it's scary sometimes to think so far out because you want to stay grounded and rooted in the present. You don't want to take life for granted and not do things that are fruitful for today. So that's been, I think, my lesson in my journey lately is just, yeah, like being okay with forecasting and working on things that won't get celebrated or acknowledged or discovered for several months or years to come. And for a creative who is very precious about our process and our work, I know that that can be just like a different, it's humbling, but it's necessary. So, okay, that's about it. I think I stated everything on my mind. Yeah, I think I mentioned lots of travel coming up. I'll be 2 more weeks stateside and then taking my talents to Europe. Yeah, we're so excited. It's gonna be I miss summers in Europe are just the best. Just mm, mm, mm. And on our alumni call with our Life Leap students, we were just talking about the urge of like being a digital nomad and how we literally in pockets, we just like want to sell everything and just full time back on the road. And that was my life for 8 years. And I look back on those years and I'm like, man, the stories, just the stories and the experiences and the adventure and the chaos and the newness and the difference. You can't, it was so unpredictable. And that's what made it so magical. And I miss some of that magic because finding the magic in the monotony is work and it's harder. But there's almost like magic is it's not magic in the monotony is circumstantial, but magic when you're traveling is almost like inevitable. It's everywhere. And I miss that. Miss that a lot. So, okay. Let me shut up. Let me do the influencer fingertip hands. All right, y'all. This has been fun. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you got some tasks done in the background. If not, sorry to have wasted half an hour of your time, but hope to do the same thing next week. Bye.